Hi guys, so it's time to pull the OBT egg sac, and it's actually been over 4 weeks, almost 5. No idea what I'm going to find, but hopefully it's going to be a good egg sac. So I'm going to move that piece of cork bark there, and we're probably going to see a very angry female come out. Okay, here goes. Okay, well there she is. And I think that's the egg sac just there, actually attached to the piece of cork bark. Gonna need both hands to actually get it out. So yeah, fingers crossed it's going to be a good one. Okay, so I've managed to separate the egg sac. I was actually getting a bit worried because this is how much substrate came away with it. So I was digging around in there for a while trying to find the thing. But yeah, there it is. Looks to be a good size and doesn't feel bad. And by that I don't mean it's not completely dried or anything. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so I've just started to open the egg sac, and I actually use my fingers to do this. Very carefully pull apart the outermost layer, and as you can see there are usually several layers of silk that usually pretty easily pull apart, and I've just actually reached the centre. And if you can just see through that little gap, you can actually see some post embryos, or as we like to call them, eggs with legs. So yeah, that's pretty great news. Now we just need to fully open the sac and count how many are in there. Okay, so I've continued to very carefully pull open the egg sac, and now you can actually see them much more easily. So yeah, it's not hard to see why we call them eggs with legs, but they are more correctly referred to as post embryos. Looks like the mother's done a very good job. So yeah, let's get them out of there and see just how many we've got. As you can see, they do move their legs at this stage, though they can't actually walk around or anything until they are first in stars. Some of the post embryos are likely to be stuck in the egg sac, so if I just very gently lift this up, then you'll see what I mean. They are still attached to the silk, even though I've completely opened up the egg sac. So what I will do is very gently pull them off it. So yeah, I'll update you once I've managed to free them all. Okay, so the egg sac is now empty, and they're all over this piece of paper towel at the moment, so I need to get them transferred into their container. And yeah, I'm quite surprised. There's only been 3 eggs so far they've counted that are bad, and there's one there just completely dried, and then there's also 2 that look to be just unfertilised. You can see one just there, and there's another one just here, I think. So yeah, I'll count them up to transfer them and give you a total as to how many I've got. So I've managed to get them all separated out. I've got 3 containers. In the largest there are 50 that all look to be healthy, and then in this smaller one there are 18 that also look to be pretty healthy, and there are 12 in this one that do have a small piece of molt stuck to them, but if I remember correctly then they will just molt out fine. But just in case, I did want to separate them, just in case something did go wrong. So yeah, that means we've got a total of 80, which is pretty cool. A few more than I was expecting, to be honest with you. And then there were just those 3 eggs that didn't emerge or were unfertilised. So yeah, I got these from a 4-inch female, and she is actually only 3 years old. Raised her from a spiderling herself, and now she's had some babies of her own. Don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago was the last time I opened up an OBT egg sac, and that was from my monster 5-inch female, and in that egg sac there was over 150, so I'm guessing the larger a female gets, the more eggs she will lay. And another interesting point is that the male that fathered these eggs with legs was actually one of the spiderlings from the egg sac 2 years ago. So if you click on the annotation, you can actually see me opening up the sac, and one of those eggs with legs is the father to all of these. So yeah, I've actually seen the whole life cycle now, which is pretty cool. And I know that they only take around 2 years to get a mature male, and if you feed them well you can even get a female to mature in 2 years. So yeah, it's just great to be able to share some good news with you for a change. Had quite a bit of bad news recently, but I do love to breed my tarantulas, and it's always great to get a successful egg sac. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I shall see you again soon.